Hello everybody, welcome to another reframe. Today's reframe is actually something that many of us have within our psyches that we are conditioned with very deeply. And it's a hot topic, so I want you to, first of all, before you even take on any of the information or anything that I'm going to share with you, just take what resonates and leave the rest. Pass it through your inner guidance system and see how it feels for you. And just take on the bits that feel good, that feel resonant, and everything else, just let it go. It's not your piece, it's not this. This is not important for you right now. But if you're still here, you're still listening, then this is what we're going to talk about today. When we are conditioned, like I talked about in our last video around shoulds, when we are conditioned, some of this programming runs really deep. Some of it becomes so intrinsically part of how we view ourselves, how we view who we are, that it can feel really difficult to reframe. And a lot of the time, these new thoughts that we're thinking, the new ways that we're practicing in being, go against what has been in place in our society for many years. So it can feel like, well, it can feel really uncomfortable. It can feel like maybe you're out pushing yourself outside of society. You're not part of the normal thinking anymore. And that can feel unsettling and a little bit fearful. And, you know, when we're working with reframing, sometimes we're affecting our personality, what we think we are, who we think we are, and we're changing these to become something that feels a lot more empowering and positive. Whereas, believe me, I know I've spent a long time believing myself to be less than, to be disempowered, to have no choice and no experience in my life. So it can feel like a big change. So just take what feels right for you. And the way that our system currently is set up is that society focuses on our weaknesses, especially things at school. I used to work in HR in London, and I know that a lot of the time, even as an adult, when you're going through a performance review, it's great, you're really good at this, but let's focus on the bits that you're not getting right, the bits that you don't do very well. And that is a language that happens from the moment we are born and enter into the system and come out the other side. It's what are you not good enough at? What is your natural, where do you fall short? And let's work on that. Instead of what I want to encourage us to do is really to focus on our strengths and practice those. Because when we focus on our strengths, it doesn't make us arrogant beings. It makes us self-confident beings. A massive difference when you really truly value your own strengths and your abilities, instead of always feeling like you're constantly having to work on the bits that you're less than, that you're not good enough at doing. And if you saw my last video on shoulds, then you know that these ideas and thought forms, these obligations that are running rampant in society, are reinforced by these shoulds. You should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be thinking this, you should be thinking that. And they really do create depression, sadness, resentment, bitterness, and the feeling of constantly feeling less than. I am not good enough, I am not enough, there's nothing about me that's worth of any value at all. And if you have heard any of these sentences before, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. You're selfish, you want too much, you should be grateful, there is so much suffering in the world, why do you want more? And why do you want to work on what you like? You should be grateful. We have this idea in this society also that to want more is the same as greed, to be greedy. To want more equals to be greedy. And this idea of greed is that somebody benefits at the expense of somebody else. So this whole victimizer idea again, those who benefit, those who do well, it is because they are greedy, they want more. And those who don't are the virtuous ones, because they are the ones who understand that they don't want to play in that game. But what I want to offer is an alternative view. This is where the reframe comes in. Imagine you are a tree, right? You are an acorn or a sapling, and what you want to do is grow, and you want to become the best version of you, which is already inside of you. You don't have to do anything about it, but you do need to have the right conditions. And the right conditions include sunlight. You need more light, you need more water, and you need more nutrients in order to make yourself reach the potential that's already within your seedling. We are exactly the same. There's really no fundamental difference. Life wants to expand. Life within us wants to expand and grow. And so that creates that feeling of more. I want more, because we want to expand and we want to grow. That is our innate divine nature. That is what we are here. That's how we are programmed. And when we go against that, that's when we start to feel the bitterness, the resentment, the confusion, the self-doubt, the lack of ideas of what we're supposed to be doing, who I am, lack of meaning, lack of purpose. Our natural ability is our natural reason for being here is to want more. Just let that settle in for a moment and see how much resistance on a scale of 1 to 10 comes up for you, because I can guarantee that the conditioning within each and every one of us is screaming, no, to want more is greedy and selfish, and I can't be greedy and selfish, and therefore I can't want more. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I'm going to just share with you something else, which is, as children, if you've ever been around a child, you'll know that they are hardwired to want to follow their desires, what makes them feel good, and they will scream and shout and just really on and on and on at you. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And at some point we have decided that is precocious, that they are, obviously there is an element of narcissism in children because they do need their needs met. But what if it actually is an inner, just truly important message, an inner compass that says, this is what I'm here to do, through my desires guide the way. So what am I passionate about? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? How do I want to be? Who do I want to hang out with? What kind of things do I want to do? As children, we know that instinctively. And yet somehow along the way that gets deprogrammed out of us and something gets reconditioned inside of us instead. Something that doesn't fill us with joy. Something that doesn't make us want to run after our desires with every fibre of our being. And yet when we do start to follow our desires, when we do start to follow our being, when we do start to follow our inner compass, we create joy. We create innovative and creative solutions. We create inner satisfaction. We create our purpose. And what that does is it ripples out into the universe, ripples out into our friendships, our family, our society. This positivity, this joy, this desire, these desires, this creativity has a positive impact in our society. People become calmer, nicer, kinder, happier, and more fulfilled. And I know that might sound like a utopian ideal, but from what I see, we are so far removed. We are so much in a place which doesn't feel good, that something radical has to change. And if it starts very simply by saying, okay, well, what am I going to do today that's going to make me feel good? I think that is an amazing reframe that we can start to take today. So I want you to focus on practicing what you're good at, and focus on practicing what you're good at and practice it every single day. Just like kids do. They find something that they love and they practice it every single day because they want to. They really, really want to. And your desires are your inner compass. There are no mistakes here. You are made perfectly, and your desires are there for a reason. They're there to be followed. They're there because they are part of your purpose, your reason, your meaning for being here on this earth right now. There is no mistake. So whether that's art, whether that's creativity, whether that's sports, whether that's family, it really doesn't matter. Every single one of those is valid. But the more we spread that out into the world, the happier we will be, and the more we can radiate that out into the world too. So it's not selfish. It's not at the expense of anybody else because it benefits others. And it ultimately has one of the greatest impacts, I believe, that we can create in our lives today. So I'd like you to ponder these questions for yourself. Who was I before the world told me who to be? Number 2, what do I enjoy doing? You might not know the answer to that. So just journal every morning, what do I enjoy doing? And in the evening, what did I enjoy doing today? Very simple. Keep it really simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. And number 3, what lights me up? What do you feel the pull towards when it's happening? What do you feel the pull towards going towards and doing when it's happening? And go towards it. And if you find that all of this conditioning inside of you comes up, your shadow aspects are coming to the surface, these shoulds are coming to the surface, journal it out, recognize it, see it for what it is, thank it for keeping you safe, thank them for being there and supporting you, but know that you're consciously creating new conditioning for yourself in a positive and loving way. So that's today's reframe. It's quite a deep one, which is my jam and I love. And we are moving from suffering to liberation in every moment, and we have that opportunity. And I am here because it is my passion and it lights me up immensely. I am here to support you along your journey. So have a lovely day. In the meantime, you can sign up to my newsletter. The link is in the bio, or you can go to www.dawnlish.com and you can get your free 4 ways to create strong and healthy boundaries PDF just for you to start you on your journey. And in the meantime, any questions, let me know. If this resonates with you, please drop a comment, please pass it over to your friend, and let's share the love. All right, take care, have a lovely day, and see you soon.